historical theme going.
Go on.
Something started in Kent just after the Second World War, involving some coat buttons and an army blanket. This is a clue. You might recognise it if you're of an older generation, and you might have played this table football game in the maybe the 80s or the 90s, like I did as a teenager.
You've been so excited about it.
Well, it takes me back to my hours and hours, days and days of playing this game.
Loads of people will have no idea what this
well,
is.
table football, better known to many as Subbuteo. So the World Cup has flicked off this weekend in Tunbridge Wells, where it all started. We've got 300 players from 26 nations around the world competing for the title. I've been to Tunbridge Wells to have a sleep.
Welcome to the 2024 Federation of International Table Sports World Cup, where the players from across the planet are going through their final warm-ups. Here in Tunbridge Wells, football really is coming home.
The dulcet tones there of BBC commentator John Murray, who himself has got a Subbuteo set gathering dust in a cupboard somewhere. But for 5 million players across the planet, their love of flicking the kick has never gone away. Just look at the scenes, the emotions the last time the World Cup came to England in 2012 at Manchester's Etihad Stadium. And now it's coming back to where it all started. It'll be the biggest World Cup ever.
It's the home of Subbuteo. When you're having a tournament in England, you could have it in a big stadium, but why not bring it to the birthplace of the game? It's tactile, you're physically playing it, and it's dexterous. It's almost like a combination between chess, football, and billiards. There's nothing better than scoring a goal yourself physically with your fingers, flick, goal, top corner.
Yeah. So you get 3 flicks with each player, and it can be so fast moving. And it's not just older generations who are getting the back of the net buzz. 15-year-old Ruby is one of England's top prospects now.
My dad introduced it to me when I was 7. I've been playing ever since. I've got to think about it, and it's tactical, because sometimes you've got to think 3 flicks ahead, not just what you're doing now.
This is where it all started. A house just outside Tunbridge Wells, where in 1947 a man called Peter Adolph came back from serving in the RAF in World War II and wanted a new hobby and game to play. So he started flicking his mother's coat buttons around on an old army rug and created this sport that spread all over the world. And you know what? The current residents, they're very proud. People like Rachel here of their house's sporting heritage. Peter was also a keen bird watcher and named his new game after the Latin word for hobby falcon, Falco Subbuteo. And being made in local factories, it soon became part of the way of life across Kent.
It's just a really interesting part of our local heritage. It's one of those pieces around West Kent, like the hop picking, where everyone's family history in some way involved. Subbuteo, making it in the factories, painting it at home, playing it themselves.
I used to have a little, flick on the floor, because you had all the little tiny figures to paint, the little hands, the little faces. It's quite nice to see that something like this that's been going years is still going.
It wasn't just in Kent that table football became part of the culture. In 1980, it even got a mention in the Undertones hit My Perfect Cousin. The song's co-writer, Michael Bradley, still hands out trophies at competitions, and his nephew Martin will be playing for Northern Ireland at this World Cup.
Grew up in a street where everybody seemed to play Subbuteo. My father played Subbuteo, my uncle Michael played Subbuteo. We danced about as youngsters to My Perfect Cousin, do you know what I mean? The undertones are legend in Subbuteo circles.
And then in the 1980s came Goldfinger.
It's not hard to see why Justin's friends call him Goldfinger. He's such an accurate shot that the makers of Subbuteo insured the forefinger of his right hand for £50,000.
Justin, who shot to fame as a teenager at the 86 Table Football World Cup, is hoping to prove his Goldfinger is still worth it this weekend.
That's the Goldfinger, which it went viral all over, which is a bit odd, but I just think it's like any sport. If you dedicate a lot of time and practice like darts, eventually, so it was years of dedication that has gotten to the level that I'm playing at today, and I'm hoping I can win the World Cup for England.
As Ruby showed me here, just like professional football, the game has evolved so much since I played as a teenager in the 1980s, when it was on a crumpled pitch on the floor, giant blocking shot there, but often you stood on the players. Oh my goodness, what a goal.
It's come on such a long
see the movement of the ball. She actually got it over my keeper into the top corner. How do you do that flick?
You just put a certain amount of pressure into the flick.
Wow.
We are stronger than ever with our teams. You know, our open team is phenomenal right now. That is our background. That is our legacy that we need to uphold. And we're going to be tough. It's going to be a tough time. You know, we've got Italy on the horizon. They always win a lot of stuff. Belgium, Greece, all these different places.
From a button on a coat to a football craze that has the world at your fingertips, waiting for the flick that can bring you world glory. Yeah, I couldn't believe how technical and fast and skillful the modern players are now. Very different, as I say, when I played on a carpet in Yorkshire in the 1980s, when my friend David Gilmour actually broke his, dislocated his knee playing. He did a slide, he was playing as York City, a player put top off, played the score, he dislocated his knee. He's now a doctor.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Anyway, you're
Comes
watching.
with something bad,
But
comes
this
something
actually
good.
is a bit of trivia. This was in the loft. This was my dad's set from about 1950. So this is one of the original Subbuteo table soccer sets, and you can see the players in those days. It is like a little coat button, isn't it, with a bit of cardboard stuck there in the base.
There's a
That's
headless
what they were
one
made
there.
out. There's a headless one. It is a long time ago. I think the Everton or Chelsea player in the blue kit there.
And over time,
Lost
they've got
his head.
rather more sophisticated.
So much so now, as I was saying, they polish all the bases of the players before a game to make sure they can glide, and they are much
Yeah.
fatter than they used to be. Used to fall over a lot. Used to break.
Our desk is quite a nice little setup for it.
Well,
isn't
I have
it?
brought a set in.
Does it not come with a mat?
Yeah, you meant to have a pitch. So after
Oh.
I'll tell you what, after 8:30, we'll have a little game.
Did you play it?
In all truth, not much.
But I did play a little bit.
I thought it was fine.
People took it very
So I
seriously.
took on Ruby there. She was incredible.
I've never played it. I'm looking forward to it. Get to play later. Thanks, Mike. It is